Back at the St. Paul Civic Center, it's Hibbing against Edina. This is semifinal play, championship round. We're just about set to go. We're going to be tossing it up to the booth, and we talked about some of the stars on the Hibbing and Edina team earlier. Mark, one that we did forget, number 16, Marty Nanny, son of Lou, and of course we should toss it up to Lou and Chris Cuthbert right now and find out what's going to go on.
I know Lou's going to be modest, but let's face it, the line for Edina with Marty Nanny, Jerry Kaler, and Pete Hankinson had a big night last night.
Well, they've been playing very well. They've got Hankinson in the middle, who's a very clever hockey player. He's very dogged. He's on the puck quite a bit. Kaler with great speed on the outside, can shoot the puck well. They work pretty well. They've had a real good streak of games going for the past 9 games, and their most probably valuable asset thus far has been their lack of giving up goals. And this is something you wonder if the law of averages is going to run out against them or not. But I don't believe they've given up a goal in 9 games, and that's an important statistic for them.
Louis, is that a credit really, you think, to the team defense, or should more credit go to the Schwartzbauer angle from in goal for Edina?
I've really been impressed with the way Schwartzbauer has been playing, especially the last 6 games. He's just seemed to really have come up with a great deal of confidence in his ability to stop the puck. But at the same time, the Edina defense is very unsung, yet very sound and stable. Twilliger moved back there from forward. He's big, he's strong, he moves the puck well. They've got Steve Bellner, as you know, come back, and Chris Bonvino is a big man, strong. But at the same time, when you put in a couple of youngsters, they had Faust returning, but the 2 kids, Mendel and Heinrich, are just sophomores, and they've come in and played with a great deal of poise. And actually, I think their great strength is their ability to clear the rebound. You're not seeing any team going against Edina getting enough second shots, and that's usually when you have to watch out, because goals are scored on rebounds, and there's not a lot of rebounds being left around with that defense back there.
Lou, Paul Ranheim and Tom Hansen are getting a lot of attention in this state tournament from scouts, and I wondered, as an NHL general manager, what you see in these 2 players and what the scouts are looking for this week in watching those 2.
Ranheim is 11th or 12th grader, and he's ready to be drafted this year. Hansen's not. So first you look at Ranheim and you say, what can he do? Where do you project him? He's big, he's strong, he's fast, he's got a very, very strong shot at the same time with a good release. He's got great speed, especially on the outside. If you look at him as a pro prospect, you might say you might even play him on the outside because he's so strong and so quick. He should move the puck to his backhand a little more, but that's something that comes. You can't expect kids to do everything. He's got exceptional talents. Hansen on defense for Hibbing, very quick, very good at anticipating the play. He moves up into the play extremely well. The kids that have played in this tournament, especially in defense, that have gone on to be successful in the NHL, Reed Larson for one, Phil Halsey just a couple years ago, they've got that ability to move into the play, get themselves in position for a shot, to set up a play, and yet they have the quickness to get back, and that's what Hansen's got.
Hibbing ranked number 1 in the state, and some pollsters say Edina's rated number 2. And the question has to be asked, does that mean this is for the championship game right here? Do you think the team that wins this will win the state championship?
Chris, I can't say that they would. I was very, very impressed with St. Paul Johnson last night. Bloomington Kennedy has got a great deal of determination and tenacity up front. They don't have the kind of balance that I would think Johnson has. And going into that game and looking at that game, I would have to pick Johnson just because their balance is a little better, and they've got that great goal scorer in Walling, and Howell's playing so superbly, as is their goaltender. So right now, it's going to be who's got to beat Johnson. Edina looked very strong yesterday. They had a solid win. Yet Johnson has been really playing their best hockey of the season, as is Edina at this time. Edina's got to get by Hibbing, which is really going to be tough. Johnson's got to get by Kennedy, and I don't think that this game at all is going to determine the championship necessarily.
These 2 teams have met once this year, and it was Hibbing beating Edina by a score of 3-2. Now let's meet the starting lineups for this afternoon's semifinal game.
7, the Hibbing Blue Jackets. In goal, number 1, John Hajduk. At defense, number 2, Tom Hansen. And number 12, Jerry Christoph. Starting at center for Hibbing, number 4, Pat Iozzo.
What are these signals? We don't have any signals. Slow down.
At wing, number 7, Nick Endricken.
And number 14, Pat Marolt. Coaching the Blue Jackets, Bill Olson. And now let's meet the champions of Section 6, the Edina Hornets. Starting in goal for Edina, number 1, Chris Schwartzbauer. At defense, number 15, Tom Terwilliger. And number 17, Chris Bonvino. At center, number 11, Paul Ranheim. At wing, number 9, Bill Mork. And number 10, Craig Shepard. Coaching the Hornets, Willard Eichela. Your officials for this afternoon's semifinal game, Richard Lick and Greg Shepard.
Well, Lou, the obvious tough task for Hibbing is to crack through that defense of Edina, because they've allowed 1 goal in their last 5 games.
It certainly is going to be a tough task, but they've got the ability to do it sometimes.
Edina in their 20th state tournament with a record of 35-20. They've never lost in the semifinals.
Well, they've got a great history. They've had some tremendous hockey teams coming through there, and a great deal of credit's got to go to Coach Willard Eichela. He's been around for a long time. He just seems to prepare his clubs properly. As it gets later in the year, they seem to come up with their best efforts. And because of the efforts that they've had through the years, he's sitting back there with quite a few state championships in his belt. On the other hand, Hibbing's had tremendous tradition also. They had a fellow, George Perpich, who we should acknowledge, one of the finest gentlemen in the state of Minnesota and one of the great hockey men in Minnesota. Has brought a lot of teams down here. And this team is somewhat reminiscent of the ones they've always had. Very quick up front. They've got a great deal of determination. A very solid hockey team. And with that young defense, they're going to be heard from again next year, because they've got 6 players back there. They're juniors, sophomores. And when you got that kind of skill back there, you don't give up many goals. You win a lot of games that way.
7th trip to the state championships for Hibbing. And their record is 15-4 in tournament play. They are champions in 52 and 73 and trying to be champions in 1984. Number 1 ranked Hibbing against number 2 Edina. And we're ready to go. Paul Ranheim at center against Pat Iozzo, and Tom Hansen wraps it down ice for Hibbing. Back is Chris Bonvino. Bonvino in the corner ties the puck up. It comes loose. Shepard can't clear the zone. And now Tom Terwilliger, the big defenseman, passes on the right side into the center ice zone. And this is Ranheim at the blue line. Good move. Ranheim the shot, and Hajduk the save. So Hajduk is tested early by Paul Ranheim of the Hornets.
Quite a play by Ranheim coming down. He faked going to the outside on Hansen, drew it through him, came through. He actually could have gone closer because he's got such great speed. As it is, it's still not wrong to take that shot. He got a good shot away. Hajduk making the save. Earlier this year when Hibbing beat Edina 3-2, Hajduk was just sensational. And he looks like the fellow that's Hibbing's going to have to turn to, because he will get tested today.
Dornbach against Iozo on this draw. Dornbach gets the face-off. Hatch banned on the shot. And out come the Hibbing Blue Jackets in over the line. Taken down on the play, Iozo. Following up, Maralt falls behind the net. Loose puck. After it there is Mendel, and Mendel wins the puck for Edina. Out on the right side, this is Jerry Mullen flipping it in for the Hornets. Hajduk under the net, leaves for Hansen. Hansen wins the puck free for the Blue Jackets, and they come out of their zone nicely with Iozo to center. Iozo flicks it into the corner as the Hibbing Blue Jackets make their first line change. Grillo was in the corner. This is Iozo still out on the ice. Grillo helping him out. And the puck slides loose, and this is Andy Hatch. A lead pass from Mullen too far. It slides into Hibbing territory, and they are changing on the fly quickly.
One person Edina's going to have to watch out for. Grillo was very impressive yesterday. A dangerous right winger with a good shot.
Here's Nikolov into the zone. He couldn't get loose, and back comes Edina. A lead pass for Jerry Kaler. Kaler over the line, called on the offside.
People always point to Andrikin and Iozo Maralt as a big scoring line for Hibbing, which they are. But yesterday, Hibbing got some very fine play from Catani and Grillo and Zoizo. And those fellows are a dangerous trio. Grillo, by the way, initiated one of the big goals for them to get them to roll them yesterday against St. Cloud Apollo.
Catani at center, a goal and 2 assists yesterday. And from the faceoff, it's Catani working his way in. A shot, Schwartzbauer, his first save, and he hangs on for a faceoff. There's a break in the action. We'll be right back with the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
I can look this man square in the eye and say a TCF pass card checking account is the most useful checking account in town, because I cannot tell a lie either.
We'll see Schwartzbauer getting tested here early as he makes the save. The rebound going right in front. Very wisely, he falls on it, gets the whistle. Face off to his left.
5 shutouts in his last 6 games. Catani almost walked in from the faceoff, kept in at the line. And this is Catani with the puck again. Antonio Catani centered it, but it's fed up over the blue line as Kaler missed the pass. And Hibbing takes over at their own line. Pass for Zezel failed to click. It slides into Edina territory. Out in front. Here's a shot from the point, knocked down in front. And out breaks Edina. Diving for the puck, Nanny can't get a hold of it, and it's knocked back in. Schwartzbauer leaves behind the net. Bonvino around the boards on this near side. It's Kaler up ahead to Henkinson. Henkinson to Nanny. Nanny hits the line and lost control. As Edina changes on the fly, a lead pass for Grillo just too far, and it's shot back in to the Hibbing Blue Jacket zone. Bellner behind the net. Knocks it forward. This is Grillo trying a lead pass for Kasner, which failed to click. And now it's shot in on Schwartzbauer, who gloves it and steers it aside. Mendel around the boards. A pass for Ranheim, and here comes Ranheim to center. Bill Mork is on the left wing, and Shepard, Ranheim looking to center. Behind the net, taken to the boards. Puck still loose. Craig Shepard battling for it there, but it's taken away by Gaustad. Out in the center ice zone. Out on the left wing, it is a shot by Kasner, knocked down. At the point, Vidmar's shot goes to the corner. Kasner trying to get it in front, and he loses control. And back comes Ranheim, flicking it into the center ice zone. And again, Edina changing very quickly. We've played 3 minutes and 34 seconds, and we've had a number of line changes in the first period already.
Hibbing coming with much more pressure early in the game than they did yesterday against St. Cloud Apollo. They look sharper early than they have before.
Here's Maralt to Iozo, who has got no call, and Andy Hatch turns back. Here comes Edina. The pass for Dornbach on the right wing. A shot by Bonvino goes to the corner. Dornbach in forechecking, but Maralt has it for Hibbing. He's taken to the boards. Puck is loose. Dornbach still with it. Dornbach with some good moves finally is checked, and it's kicked to the line, kept in, however. Here's a shot by Hatch, which went wide. Around the boards it comes, and Andrikin knocks it to center. Iozo is there. He flicks it into Edina territory, and it's cleared right back out. Kristoff Over on the far side for Hansen. He fires it in. Bellner is there. Steve Bellner with the puck. Good pass on the left wing. This is Nanny over the line. Broke it up as Jerry Mullen couldn't get loose. Mullen now feeds it back in. Andy Hatch is knocked down. Mullen follows up. Puck is loose. Down goes Moralt. Puck kept in the zone. And here's a chance for Hankinson. Hankinson is checked at the last second with 10:01 left in the first period. There's a break in the action, and we'll be right back with the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
In Viking Land, performance like this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this can only be found in one place. Your Viking Land Dodge dealer.
Edina and Hibbing are scoreless through 4 minutes, 59 seconds. Face-off in the Hibbing zone. And from the draw, Hankinson gets it back. Kaler just turned and fired it. It hit a leg. And out come Hibbing. This is Richie Bryant over the line. Bryant had a goal yesterday. He clears it in behind the net, and Marty Nanny picks it up on the other side. Up ahead to Hankinson. Hankinson checked in the zone, but Nanny follows up over the line, loses control, and back comes Zezel. Zezel lines up his shot right on Schwartzbauer. Puck loose in the zone. This is Catani centering it out in front, and it's cleared to the boards. Zezel behind the net to Antonio Catani, trying to center. He's knocked down, and they hold it for a faceoff.
Hibbing's balance starting to come through as it did in the third period last night. Every line out there is putting on some pressure. They've had some opportunities, but even if they haven't had great opportunities, they've had some good puck possession, much more than they had early against St. Cloud Apollo. They seem to be continuing to play as they did in that third period against Apollo, putting some strong forecheck on the Edina defense.
Mark Kasner at center for the Hibbing Blue Jackets gets the draw. It comes back. Gostad, shot knocked down. Loose puck in the slot area, cleared away by Edina. A pass on the left wing as Edina breaks in and hauled down on the play. And a penalty upcoming against the Hibbing Blue Jackets. With the score, Edina nothing, Hibbing nothing. This is Hockey 84, live from the St. Paul Civic Center.
Sally, Bert, you busy tonight? You're lost. Debbie? Bert? Lori? Bert? Judy? Cindy? Kathy? Buffy?
When you have a lot of local calls to make, it's nice to have a Northwestern Bell calling card.
Hi, Mom. Bert. Bert.
Your Northwestern Bell calling card. Use it for local calls, too.
Bryant will go off for tripping Jeff Johnson right here as Johnson receiving a pass from Jay Moore, try to cut in from the left side. Bryant taking his legs out from under him. It's DeHagen, pardon me, for tripping Edina on the power play.
Edina 1 for 2 on the power play against Roseau, while Hibbing successfully killed all 3 penalties they took yesterday.
On his power play, they put Ranheim back on the point. They try to get him the puck back at the blue line. He has the option to go to the top of the circle and shoot, or he looks across ice to Andy Hatch, who's got a real good release, and he lets fly with it. Right now, they're using Craig Shepard in that position and Mullen, but look for the guy on the far side to receive a pass from Ranheim if he's got no shot.
So 5 forwards on the power play, and yet it is Andrikin breaking out for Hibbing. Andrikin fanned on the shot. It rolls harmlessly to Schwartzbauer. Quick whistle, and we'll get a face-off in the Edina zone, and I don't think Schwartzbauer wanted that or really expected the whistle to happen.
Well, Schwartzbauer was a little slow moving that puck away to his wingman coming back on the play. Shepard was in position to take it, but he wasn't that slow. It was a quick whistle on the referee's part.
From the face-off, Dornbach knocks it to an open wing. And back comes Andrikin. So Hibbing starting well on this penalty-killing situation. Andrikin in the corner. He's the team leader for the Blue Jackets. Goes down, loose puck. And now Edina gets possession with 1:28 remaining in the penalty to John Hagen. Here they come over the line. Pass back to Ranheim. Ranheim now moves in a step or two. Back to Dornbach. Dornbach at the left point, clears it in. A shot goes over the net off the stick of Hatch. fed back to Dornbach at the point again. Left side, Ranheim. Back to Dornbach. Dornbach winds up the shot right on. Hajduk has it, and he looked behind, but it was underneath him.
Well, that's the other option on the power play that they use, and they use very successfully. As a matter of fact, yesterday they got a goal from it. Terwilliger did, as Dornbach, firing from up high in the middle, uses the screen of Terwilliger. Terwilliger sometimes can deflect it, sometimes right on net. Here's Dornbach shooting the puck, hoping for a rebound. Hajduk going down, and you see at that moment Mullen charging the net for a rebound as Terwilliger ties up the defenseman Hansen on the left. That's Terwilliger on your left tying up Hansen, and if a rebound comes down, Mullen would have been all alone.
Lou, I said they were using 5 forwards. They're not, but the defenseman out there is playing a forward position, Terwilliger.
That's right. They move Terwilliger up front to screen the goaltender. He's big, he's strong, he gets good position, and sometimes if he can tie up the defenseman with his body and keep his stick free, he can deflect a shot into the net as he did yesterday.
With the score, Edina nothing, Hibbing nothing. This is Hockey 84, live from the St. Paul Civic Center.
Dear Republic Airlines, I travel 4 or 5 days a week, and I fly about once a day.
Brad Holt is a sales representative from Eau Claire, Wisconsin.
It's a pretty lonely job sometimes out on the road. That's why treatment others take for granted is important to me. If I could get the kind of royal treatment I get on Republic from the other airlines, I probably wouldn't be in such a hurry to get home.
Every year, Republic gets thousands of letters that really say the same thing. Nobody serves our Republic like Republic.
They're still repairing the ice here at the St. Paul Civic Center. Lou, obviously, Willard Eichela does not want his troops to get tired today. He has already made a number of line changes. He's used all 4 lines, and we've just played a half of the first period.
Well, Willard does that every game. He does that quickly, too. He wants everybody to get in the game, which is a good tactic. You go out there for 35, 40 seconds, get off the ice, get everybody in the game one swing around, unless there's a penalty or a power play opportunity. He just runs right through the 4 lines, gets everybody a feel of the ice, the game, the conditions, and then he goes with his lines from there. And he doesn't really concern himself about who's playing against whom on the opposite team, with the exception of a high-scoring, say, one line or one individual in the other team, and in that instance he will then not put his 4th line against that one line. Other than that, he's willing to play any of his people against any on the other team. You're looking at Schwartzbauer, as we were saying earlier, has had a great deal of success. He's had 5 games, just giving up 1 goal. And look at a few of the Edina fans and band members. Here's a shot from Dornbach on that power play. You're going to see Hajduk, see him lean in, trying to make sure he gets to see the puck. He saw it. He made the save. He wasn't sure if it deflected away, but it stayed between his legs. But Hajduk very wisely going from a crouch position on a screen shot. Terry Sawchuk started that years ago. He went right down, put his head down. He used to be right above the pads, and he was the first one that seemingly was looking right through his pads to pick up that screen shot. Now the goaltenders, when they're alert, that's what they do when someone's shooting from way out.
54 seconds left in the power play for Edina. This is Big Tom Terwilliger with possession. Terwilliger back to the point. It comes across to Dornbach. Dornbach, a gifted little center, playing the point. Now there's a shot off the post. Rebound. Ranheim, they score!
Terwilliger might have put it in. Ranheim hit the one shot, took another shot. I think the saves were made and the puck was lying free on the ice. But I believe Terwilliger might have put it in. It was a fine opportunity for Ranheim. He stayed right there. He maintains his ground. Look at him at the left of your screen after the shot is taken by Hatch. He's right there, takes one shot and hit the upper crossbar, came down. Terwilliger is fighting for it in front, number 15. I believe he puts it in. A good play by Dornbach there to Hatch. Hatch getting a quick shot away off the pipe. There's the one shot hitting the pipe by Ranheim and pushed in by Terwilliger. I'm not so certain that shot by Ranheim didn't go in initially.
But Terwilliger will get credit for his 2nd goal of the state championship. Edina draws first blood. They lead Hibbing 1-0.
Well, the strength of Terwilliger pays off in front. However, I'm not so certain that first one by Ranheim didn't go in. It looked to me like it was in the net. They should have called it initially.
So Hibbing trails by 1 as they move it down into Hornet territory. Here's a pass in front and a shot just wide. That was close as it was almost tied. Good pressure, and now Edina breaks out. Down the the ice comes the fourth line. Johnson in front, and the shot by Sarp just went wide. Back to the point. Mendel in front. There's a shot. They score!
That's a fourth line center. Jay Moore, just a sophomore, called up halfway through the year, getting a shot right from 10 feet in front of Hajduk, beating him down low. That's the depth of Edina that Willie Reichler uses so often, giving them experience along the way, and it pays off for them right here. Right after Hibbing missing a golden opportunity down deep, I believe it was Kasner, you'll see number 13, Jay Moore, right there in front, firing that puck low into the net, putting Edina up 2-0.
2 goals in less than a minute. Moore set up Sarp for that great chance, and then they got another shortly after, and Edina leads by 2.
That's a swing of 2 goals because Hibbing had an outstanding chance all alone in front of the net just to have the puck go wide. Edina comes right back down. That sophomore center, Jay Moore, fires a low one right through Hajduk's legs, putting Edina ahead 2-0.
Jay Moore, 5'6", 140-pounder, has put the Hornets ahead by 2. Here comes Andrikin centering it in front. Bellner knocks it to the corner. And up with it is little Jerry Kaler. Kaler can't clear the zone, now gets it outside the line. Hankinson's pass for Nanny, who is hit by Hansen. And back come the Hibbing Blue Jackets inside the line. Good check there by Bellner, and Mendel takes over. This is Big Bob Mendel. Hitting the blue line, Mendel slides it through. Nanny the shot, and Hajduk makes the save. There's a break in the action. We'll be right back with the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
Finding your dream house opens up a world of realities. Understanding value demands a new breed of real estate professional, the Merrill Lynch of realtors.
We are back at the St. Paul Civic Center. Face-off in Hibbing territory, and the Blue Jackets clear it down ice. Mike Grillo going after it against Terwilliger, who gets there first. Terwilliger up ahead to Bill Mork. And this is Mork in the neutral area. Backhanding into Hibbing territory. And now Edina forechecking. Loose puck. Ranheim the shot. Hajduk the save. And now the Blue Jackets carry it out. Down ice is Richie Bryant to his check. And Edina starts back once again with Mork at center along with Ranheim. The back pass for Ranheim failed to click. And Antonio Catani starts back. Catani hits the line, working in, but he's got 3 men to beat. Couldn't do it. Following up on the play was Grillo, and he lost control. And Edina just dumps it out to center. This is Grillo again, backhanding it into the zone. And Bonvino goes back for it. Around the boards on the right wing. Andy Hatch can't get loose. Now it's Bonvino. This is Hatch on the near side. Mullen playing the right wing, and Dornbach with him at center. He lost control. Hatch follows up. Hatch drops it for Mullen. Lost it in his skates, and Hibbing will take over. It's cleared back into Blue Jacket territory. Dornbach forechecking. Dornbach in the corner, can't control, and Gaustad takes over. Sean Gaustad gets it ahead, and John Zezel starts down ice. Zezel against the boards. Gaustad follows up. And Edina takes it away from the Blue Jackets, who can't get anything organized offensively in this first period. 4:45 remaining. The Hornets of Edina leading 2-0. Mike Vidmar behind the net. He has a grade point average of 4.0. Knocking it down ice. And back to get it is John Faust. A 5'9", 150-pound senior. Faust into the center zone, and Kaler knocks it the rest of the way as Edina completes another line change. Richie Bryant standing behind his net. Long lead pass, trying to send away Andrikin. He just missed it. Andrikin goes after it, but Terwilliger beats him to the puck. Gets it ahead to Kaler. Little Kaler turns it up ice. Here's Jerry Kaler hitting the line, knocked down and offside by a step on the left wing was Pete Hankinson.
Well, Hankinson just getting the step offside as Kaler coming down made a move. Hansen made a good play, getting a piece of Kaler, slowing him down just long enough to put Hankinson offside. Otherwise, he had a 3-on-1 break there. Good play by defenseman Tom Hansen.
Tom Terwilliger and Jay Moore, the goal scorers in this first period. as Catani rifles it in and goes after it. He's bumped off the puck, and back come the Hornets. This is Hankinson looking for Nanny on the right wing. That's broken up, and Hansen clears it to an open wing and down ice. Schwartzbauer leaves it for Terwilliger, who falls down on the play. In the corner, it's dropped back to the point. Kristoff knocks it in. It comes back to Kristoff at the right point. He clears it around the corner. Behind the net, Kelly Esty is there, along with Gazic. They go to the boards. Hankinson's lost his stick. He knocked it forward for Nanny. And now the Hornets get a face-off in their own zone.
Well, Hankinson losing his stick very wisely. Played that puck along the boards, waited for someone to come to he and Nanny, and then throws the puck. He's got no stick. You might as well get a whistle as quick as you can, because you're not much good out there without a stick. You might be able to body somebody off the puck, but usually what happens, you start reaching for him, grabbing him, and you end up with a penalty.
3:17 left in the first period. The Hornets of Edina leading 2-0. This is that fourth line of Moore, Johnson, and Sarp for the Hornets. Loose puck behind the net. Pressure here by Hibbing. They center it out in front, and it's broken up, but we've got a penalty upcoming against Edina.
Edina playing tough in front of the net, but getting a little carried away in that instance, going to end up with an interference penalty, giving Hibbing the opportunity to go in the power play right now. And Hibbing trailing by 2 would want to capitalize on this power play as Jay Moore taking down one of the Hibbing forwards in front of the net. You see number 13 Moore right off to the right of Schwartzbauer. Right here, he takes down Iozo down in front of the net. Interference penalty, Hibbing on the power play.
First penalty of the tournament for Edina. Hibbing was 1 for 1 on the power play in their game against St. Cloud Apollo yesterday. And from the face-off, they jam up in the against the boards and get another draw to the left of Chris Schwartzbauer.
Well, Hibbing moving Grillo up front on the power play here. Grillo's got a good shot, too. He's a right-hand shot. They play him on the left side in the power play, giving him a better shooting angle. Very dangerous man when he gets that puck around the net.
Back to get it, Richie Bryant. And he will leave it for Catani, the leading scorer in the Iron Range this year. Now Grillo over the line, working down the left wing, puts on the brakes in the corner. Taken to the boards by Bellner. The puck comes loose. Nikolov backhands it back into the corner. Here's Catani knocked down. A shot by Bryant. Schwartzbauer going the other way, made the save. Nikolov again. Working it to this near side. John Zezel knocks it behind the net. And back it comes to Bryant. Bryant works into the center. Shot right on goal, and Schwartzbauer hangs on.
Well, Bryant took the shot from the top of the, actually right inside the blue line, much farther out than the top of the circle. When you're doing that, the only time you're dangerous is when you got someone screening in front of the net or breaking for the net. You see here, no Hibbing people moving towards the net quick enough. Schwartzbauer's got a lot of time to handle the puck and freeze on it. Grillo coming from the right side, just got to time it a little quicker, get to that net quicker so he can screen the goalie or deflect it, bother the goalie somewhat. Bryant's got to wait a second to give that man time to get there.
1 minute, 3 seconds left in the penalty to Jay Moore of Edina. Hibbing needs a goal to get back in the hockey game. A shot right on goal. The stop by Schwartzbauer on Anderkin. And it's cleared down the ice by Edina. 2-0 the score with 1 minute, 50 seconds left in the first period. This is Pat Iozo. Iozo on the left side, up ahead to Anderkin. Anderkin being hounded by Dornbach, but they come in over the line. Pat Maralt working in, shoots, and it hit the side of the net. Many of the fans thought that puck was in. Play continues. Back it comes. Kristoff shot is blocked. Kept in by Hansen. Hansen flips it into the corner. Maralt lost possession, back to the point, and it comes out over the line. And that one had me fooled for a second, too.
It certainly did, and it hit the far side of the net. From this angle right here, you weren't certain whether it was in or net the way that net bulged.
Here's Anderkin off the post as he almost put it in. So Hibbing comes close, but the penalty has expired. 1 minute to go in the first period, and the Hornets of Edina continue to lead 2-0.
They're living a charmed life right now after those two opportunities.
Wow. Hansen gulps it around the boards. That's Anderkin working his way out. Anderkin hooked from behind by Nanny, and a penalty is upcoming against Edina, so Hibbing will go back on the power play. Unless they score here, they pulled their goaltender, and play whistled down with 34 seconds left in the first period.
Well, that penalty was very obvious to him. Martinelli getting his stick up and just hooking the man. Sometimes you call those lazy penalties. You got to take the extra 2 strides and get to the man rather than reach out and get a hooking penalty like that.
Hooking is the call against Martinelli, who says he wants to play in the 1988 Olympics. What do you think?
Well, I'm certain every youngster who plays hockey in the United States and really enjoys the game would look forward to playing in the Olympics, think that that'd be one of their biggest thrills in life.
Here comes Grillo for Hibbing. Grillo on the move in the corner, taken to the boards by Bellner. Grillo still with it, gets some help from Catani. It comes back to the point. Cross-ice pass, that's Zezel. His shot deflects high in the air, wide of the goal. Pressure by Hibbing. They need a goal with 10 seconds remaining in the first period. Back to the point. Nikolov works his way into the center, now flips it to the weak side. Behind the net, Zezel for Grillo, and they run out of time. There'll be 1:27 left on the penalty when we start the second period. But Chris Schwartzbauer and the Edina Hornets lead the Hibbing Blue Jackets 2-0 after 1 period of play.
Well, Schwartzbauer had a very strong period when he was tested, and when you're going good, the pipe is also your biggest asset, and he needed it a couple of times. Hibbing with some fine shots, notably one by Andrikin, hitting the far pipe on the last power play, keeping his game at 2-0 for Edina, end of 1.
Willard Eichela has to like his position, but remember, Hibbing knows all about being down 2-0. They scored 6 straight in their last game. Let's go down to Sports Control and join Ralph John Fritz and Mark Rosen.
Okay, thanks, Chris. As you mentioned, Hibbing is a club that has come from behind all year. In fact, in a couple of their games, they got off to that slow start against Apollo yesterday. I think they're going to have to score that next goal, though, because Edina is so hard to play catch-up against. Schwartzbauer has 5 shutouts in his last 6 games, and with their team defense concept, it's a little difficult to maintain that.
Hibbing did trail 2-0 to Apollo, but they did get that goal right at the end of the period that give them some momentum going in, so they do have problems, although Edina did dodge the bullet late in that period. So let's go down to Tony Parker on the ice right now.
Well, you're looking over the shoulder of band leader Gary Ward of Edina here. If you want to feel the real excitement of any tournament, any sporting event, of course, get in the band. Hey, you know, guys, I've never been sure. Saxophones are woodwinds or brass?
Woodwind. Woodwind.
Brass. Woodwind. They can't decide. What's your name?
Brian.
Your instrument?
It's a saxophone. John Montgomery. My name's David, alto saxophone.
You guys play in any other band beside the concert band?
No. Maybe. We
No
play
jazz
weddings and bar mitzvahs and things like that on hire.
Yeah, you got to be with the band to get the real feel, let me tell you, because that's where the real excitement is. I mean, it is terrific. There's just nothing like it, believe me. It is that kind of excitement when you're with the band and when the band starts to play. Are you ready, Maestro?
Almost.
Now back to Sports Control.
I want to hear more, Tony.
First chair, Tony Parker. 2-0, Edina leading Hibbing after 1 period, but this one is far from over. This is continuing coverage of the 1984 high school hockey tournament.
Remember how great chocolate malts used to taste? Thick, creamy, smooth, rich chocolate, mild and mellow malt flavor. Kemp's brings it all back in Kemp's Chalet malted milk. Real ice cream with the special goodness of a chocolate malt. Dish it, blend it, but don't miss it. Kemp's Chalet malted milk, a new Kemp's ice cream flavor that tastes as good as you think it will.
Let's see. Beef bouillon with potatoes lyonnaise or hamburger and fries. You know, it's nice to have a choice. Like the choice TCF gives you on installment loans. You can choose between a fixed interest rate loan or the lower monthly payments of a variable interest rate installment loan. Your choice. No wonder folks are singing the praises of TCF.
Introducing Dodge Daytona, Daytona Turbo, Daytona Turbo Z. Cars that will revolutionize your perspective of the American road. Standard 550 protection, fuel injected, front wheel drive, and 2 models turbocharged. The revolutionary Daytonas from Dodge. The American road will never look the same again.
We are Dodge and America's revolution.
Back at the St. Paul Civic Center, semifinal action. Edina's Hornets 2 and the Hibbing Blue Jackets nothing after one period of play. And Mark, we should keep in mind and repeat once again that Hibbing will have that power play the first part of that second period. So Chris Schwartzbauer, who has been perfect to this point, could be tested early.
And speaking of power plays, Ralph, I think Edina's has been the most effective we have seen in this state high school hockey tournament. They really have a nice team concept. They scored on the power play here. Tom Terwilliger, this will actually be their third chance on this sequence here. It looked like Ranheim's shot may have gone in. The goal judge did not turn the red light on, however, until Terwilliger finally got it past John Hyduke. Here's another look at it. Number 11 is Ranheim. Hit underneath the crossbar. That puck was in the net. Did not signal until Terwilliger drove it home. But I'm really impressed with Edina's power play. Greg Dornbach, when he gets on the point, Terwilliger screens out in front, and Hyduke made a big save earlier in the game on a power play.
Well, and imagine how Hyduke feels when you have 5 forwards coming at him, or actually Terwilliger a defenseman, but he has been a forward at times. And the second goal for Edina by number 13, Jay Moore, who will always remember this goal, too. He's a sophomore, 5'6", 10th grader, a 2-0 lead for Edina. That goal came just just less than a minute after that first goal. Took a little starch out of the Blue Jackets.
So let's face it, the Hibbing had their chances. There's a pipe shot, as Louis Nanny pointed out, the goaltender's best friend. In this case, Chris Schwartzbauer can thank the pipe, as Nick Andrikin had a chance there. Edina took a couple of penalties near the end of the period. In fact, as we mentioned, Hibbing will have the power play when we begin the second period. Let's look at the goalie saves in that first period. For Chris Schwartzbauer, 8. A couple of them very difficult ones, but again, the Edina defense is really clearing out the loose pucks in front, and Hibbing has not been able to get many second chances.
Okay, so we're still 2-0 after one period. Edina leading Hibbing, and this is continuing coverage of the 1984 Minnesota High School Hockey Tournament.
Miami, the Metzgers are in my Orlando. Oh,
isn't it funny how often you hear from friends vacationing in warm places when you're stuck in a cold place?
Las Vegas. Now there's an exciting place.
Republic Airlines flies to more warm places from Florida to California than any other airline. We have a warm spot for you, too.
Book us on Republic.
What have I done?
Nobody serves our Republic like Republic.
Now, I don't claim to be a financial wizard, but I do know there's some impressive numbers behind TCF's pass card checking account. Like this many pass card checking customers around the state. Like this many cash machines where I use my TCF Gold pass card. Like this much interest. And now this many choices with canceled checks. Have them returned every month or have TCF keep them. Pass card checking. Its numbers makes it this number in my book.
Today, finding the home of your dreams can awaken you to a world of realities. A clear view of value and financing demands a new breed of real estate professional. With sensitivity and certainty, Merrill Lynch Realty provides careful guidance to complement the sophistication of this changing market. So now, when a tradition of integrity and financial awareness is so appropriate, talk to the people at Merrill Lynch Realty and see why we are the Merrill Lynch of Realtors.
The good thing about advertising in the newspaper is that your ad gets delivered right to your customer's door. The bad thing about advertising in the newspaper is that may be right where it stays. When people are ready to buy, 80% of them go straight to the yellow pages. So let your ad do the talking, where their fingers do the walking.
Edina leading Hibbing by the score of 2-0 at the end of the first period in today's first semifinal game. Catching hockey fever on the Iron Range, believe me, is a little different than here in the metro area. The symptoms are usually a bit more pronounced and harder to shake. Fortunately, we got to Hibbing just in time to observe a classic case.
Like the words from a song of a favorite Hibbing son, the times they are a-changing here. But while the economy has slid downward, civic pride has skyrocketed. There's nothing this town likes better than to show off its greatest natural resource, its youth, especially if they happen to be heading for the state high school hockey tournament. Symptoms of hockey fever surface days before the actual event. As the final countdown to tournament begins, hectic last-minute preparations keep frantic fans fired up. Here at Hibbing High, there are tickets to be sold, arrangements to be made, and buses to decorate. From team members to cheerleaders, to parents to the whole town, it's tough to remain humble.
I'm going to kill, hopefully. Going to roll.
I think it's great. I think they'll do pretty good. They have a good chance.
Well, I hope they take the whole thing.
Nobody's going to be in school.
A last-minute practice session has Coach Bill Olson and the team skating with purpose. Cautious jitters and doubts are to be left here on home ice. For tomorrow, it's the beginning of a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
We've had a successful year, and we just like to cap it off by doing the best we can. We know the town will be behind us whatever we do.
I mean, I'm along with the rest of the guys. It's going to be something we'll probably never forget, you know, so I'm really excited about it.
When the day arrives to take that long trip to the big city, the team, parents, and supporters gather at the Hibbing Moose Club for an appreciation breakfast. For all present, it's an emotional time. Expectations are high, and the bond between all becomes even stronger. Hibbing isn't just sending a team to the tournament, it's sending their pride and joy.
My husband went home with the tears in his eyes. He's been crying all morning, so he's just sentimental and happy, I guess.
They're just a bunch of real gentlemen. They are handling it just terrific. No, it really hasn't gone to their heads.
At Hibbing High, hockey fever has reached epidemic proportions. The adrenaline flows. Cheerleaders reach a fever pitch. The band joins in, and the moment has arrived. It's a send-off fit for the right stuff.
Let's have everybody there with their loudest voices cheering these guys on. Okay? I'd like to thank everybody for their support. We'll be down there giving 110%, and we hope to see you down there giving just as much. Thanks.
When there's an outbreak of hockey fever in Hibbing, no one's immune.
And the Hibbing Blue Jackets hoping to get on track this second period. They trail Edina 2-0 at this time after one period. Well, each year, the State High School Hockey Tournament produces a number of human interests stories. Last year, we introduced you to Steve Bellner of the Edina Hornets, who came to this tournament but couldn't play. He had open heart surgery. This year, Steve Bellner has returned, only under different conditions indeed. Let's watch.
When Edina clinched its ticket to the state tournament last weekend, no one celebrated with more intensity than Steve Bellner. Bellner's elation is easily understood when you consider the fact that many people doubted he'd be able to play hockey this year. You see, a year ago, Steve Bellner watched this tournament from a wheelchair. Just a week before we shot this interview, Steve had undergone 10.5 hours of open heart surgery to correct a serious malfunction. But today, he's back on the ice, playing defense for the Hornets. Obviously, Steve Bellner isn't easily discouraged.
I knew I'd be skating again. I was just worried that we wouldn't get back to the tournament. Well, I had a lot of support from our community. Edina's got a great support of community people, my team, my friends. Everything just kept me going.
Steve's parents, Richard and Mary Bellner, also played a key role in their son's rehabilitation. A process that Steve's dad feels was simplified by his son's positive attitude.
He's a pretty positive kid, and he wants to play hockey, so this was just some little thing that he had to get through with.
Edina head coach Willard Eichela says Steve's remarkable recovery has been an inspiration to the Hornets this year.
He brought back a lot of character as well as his physical ability on the team. He's been a real leader the whole year.
Steve Bellner chooses to view the past year as a positive experience, a time in which he learned many invaluable lessons about himself and people in general.
There's a lot of good out there. I mean, a lot of people say there's a lot of bad, but there's a lot of good people out there willing to help you that you've never even heard of before.
What a courageous young man, Ralph. Steve Bellner of the Edina Hornets.
Talk about your inspirational stories. They don't become more inspirational than that. And every team member on that team just thinks the world of Steve Bellner. This is continuing coverage of the 1984 State High School Hockey Tournament.